Chapter 31. And he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's hath he gotten all this glory. 31 footnotes. Glory, Hebrew weight, figure metonymy of effect, appendix 6 equals wealth. The effect, i.e. the burden or weight, being put for that which caused it. Verse 2. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not towards him as before. Behold, figure asterismos, appendix 6, as before, Hebrew yesterday, and the day before, figures synecdoche of the part, appendix 6, aforetime. Verse 3. The Lord said unto Jacob, Return unto the land of thy fathers and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. Verse 3, footnote is the Lord Jehovah, appendix 4. Verse 4. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock. Verse 5. And said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as before, but the God of my father hath been with me. Verse 6. And ye know that with all my power I have served your father. Your father, footnote, repeated at the beginning of the next verse by the figure anadiplosis, see appendix 6. And your father hath deceived me, and changed my wages 10 times, but God suffered him not to hurt me. 7. Suffered him not, figure idioma, see appendix 6. Hebrew did not give him to do me evil. Hurt, Hebrew re'ah, see appendix 44, 8. Verse 8. If he said thus, the speckled shall be thy wages, then all the cattle bear speckled. And he said thus, the ring-straked shall be thy hire, then bear all the cattle ring-straked. Verse 9. Thus God hath taken away the cattle of your father, and given them to me. Verse 10. And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted up mine eyes, and saw in a dream, and, behold, the rams which leaped upon the cattle were ring-straked, speckled, and grizzled. Verse 11. And the angel of God spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, Here am I. Verse 11 footnote up here. Angel of God, Hebrew Elohim, in verse 13, called by himself, I am the God of Bethel, El of Bethel. Compare 28, 12, and 13, and 48, 16. Verse 12. And he said, Lift up now thine eyes, and see, all the rams which leap upon the cattle are ring-straked, speckled, and grizzled, for I have seen all that Laban doeth unto thee. Verse 12 footnote, cattle. Compare Psalm 50, 10. Verse 13. I am the God of Bethel, where thou anointest the pillar, and where thou vowedst a vow unto me. Now arise, get thee out from this land, and return unto the land of thy kindred. God, Hebrew El, see appendix 4, vowedst a vow, figure polyptoton, appendix 6, madest a solemn vow. Verse 14. And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, Is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? 14. Is there yet, etc. Figure erotesis, see appendix 6. And 15. Are we not counted of him strangers? For he hath sold us, and he hath quite devoured also our money. 15 footnote up here. Are we not, etc. Another erotesis. See appendix 6. Verse 16. for all the riches which God hath taken from our father, that is ours, and our children's. Now then, whatsoever God hath said unto thee, do. Verse 17. Then Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives upon the camels. Verse 18. And he carried away all his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting which he had gotten in Paddan Aram, for to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. Verse 19. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images that were her father's. Images. Hebrew teraphim, a kind of household gods, showing that the idolatry of Babylonia still clung to Laban's family in spite of his protestations in verse 20, 30, 27. Compare verse 30 and 35 too. Verse 20. And Jacob stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian, in that he told him not that he fled. Unawares to Laban, Hebrew stole the heart, figure synecdoche of the part. Appendix 6, heart being put for knowledge, compare verse 27. Rachel stole Laban's idols, and Jacob stole Laban's heart. Verse 21. So he fled with all that he had, and he rose up and passed over the river and set his face toward the Mount Gilead. The river, meaning the Euphrates, figure synecdoche of the genus, see Appendix 6. Gilead, perpetual fountain, compare Numbers 32:1, 39, and Deuteronomy 3:12 through 16, and 34:1. Verse 22. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob was fled. Verse 23. And he took his brethren with him and pursued after him 7 days' journey, and they overtook him in the Mount Gilead. Brethren, figure synecdoche of species, Appendix 6. One relationship put for a general one. 24. And God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, Take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. Good or bad, Hebrew, from good to bad. Verse 25. Then Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the mount of Gilead. Verse 26. And Laban said to Jacob, What hast thou done, that thou hast stolen away unawares to me, and carried away my daughters, as captives taken with the sword? What figures erotesis and agnectesis? See Appendix 6. 27. Wherefore didst thou flee away secretly and steal away from me, and didst not tell me that I might have sent thee away with mirth, and with songs, with tabret, and with harp? Wherefore, figure erotesis of expostulation, see Appendix 6. With mirth, Laban adds hypocrisy, covetousness, and avarice to idolatry. Verse 28. And hast not suffered me to kiss my sons and daughters? Thou hast now done foolishly in so doing. Sons, figure metonymy of species, see Appendix 6. Sons put for grandsons, etc. Compare verse 55. Verse 29. It is in the power of my hand to do you hurt. But the God of your fathers spake unto me yesternight, saying, Take thou heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. Hand, figure synecdoche of the part, see Appendix 6. Hand put for the whole person in my power. You and your are plural. God of your father. In chapter 30, 27 and 30, Laban had spoken of the Lord Jehovah. Now he has sunk low as to say, Your God, and calls the teraphim my gods. Verse 30. And now though thou wouldst need be gone, because thou sore longest after thy father's house, yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods? 30. Sore longest Hebrew, with longing thou hast longed, figure polytoton, see Appendix 6. And my gods, compare on verse 29. Verse 31. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, because I was afraid, for I said, peradventure thou wouldest take by force thy daughters from me. Verse 32. With whomever thou findest thy gods, let him not live. Therefore our brethren discern thou what is thine with me, and take it to thee. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. Let him not live. This was in strict accordance with the Code of Hammurabi, number 9, but in contrast with the Mosaic Law, see Appendix 15. 33. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the two maidservants' tents, but he found them not. Then he went out of Leah's tent, and entered into Rachel's tent. 34. Now Rachel had taken the images, and put them in the camel's furniture, and sat upon them. And Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. Footnotes on 33 and 34. Rachel, repeated by the figure anadiplosis, see Appendix 6, Hebrew tent of Rachel, and Rachel had taken. Furniture, saddle, the saddle, and searched, felt with his hands. 35. And she said to her father, let it not displease my lord that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me. And he searched, and found not the images. My lord, Hebrew, the eyes of my lord, figure prosopopoia, see Appendix 6. Custom, Laban's deceit begets deceit. 36. And Jacob was wroth, and chode with Laban. And Jacob answered, and said to Laban, what is my trespass? What is my sin, that thou hast so hotly pursued after me? 37. Whereas thou hast searched my stuff, what hast thou found of all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren, and thy brethren, that they may judge betwixt us both. 38. This 20 years have I been with thee. Thy ewes and thy she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten. 38. 20. The number of disappointed expectancy, see Appendix 10. 39. That which was torn of beasts I brought not unto thee, I bear the loss of it. Of my hand didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. My hand, figure synecdoche of the part. Appendix 6. Hand put for me, compare verse 29. Verse 40. Thus I was in the day, the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. Thus I was, figure ellipsis, Appendix 10. Thus wherever I was, drought, heat. Figure metonymy of effect, Appendix 6, effect put for the burning heat which caused it. Contrast with cold produced by the frost. My sleep, the eastern shepherd, often away from home for weeks at a time. 41. Thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle, and thou hast exchanged my wages 10 times. 42. Except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely thou hadst sent me away now empty. God hath seen mine affliction, and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight. The fear, figure metonymy of adjunct, Appendix 6, fear put for the God whom Jacob worshipped. With me equals on my side, Psalms 118, 6 and 7. 43. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, these daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto these my daughters, or unto their children, which they have borne? 44. Now therefore come thou, let us make a covenant, I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee. Make, Hebrew cut, compare 15, verses 10 and 18, solemnize. 45. And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. Pillar, compare 28:18. And Jacob said unto his brethren, Gather stones. And they took stones and made up an heap, and they did eat there upon the heap. 46. Eat, i.e. of the covenant sacrifices, compare 26:30, Exodus 24:5 and 11. 47. And Laban called it Jagar-Sahadutha, but Jacob called it Galeed. Jagar-Sahadutha, Chaldaic equals witness heap, and Galeed, Hebrew, is the same meaning. 48. And Laban said, This heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Galeed. 49. And Mizpah, for he said, The Lord watch between me and thee when we are absent from one another. Mizpah, Hebrew watchtower, he, i.e. Laban, so that he knew Hebrew as well as Chaldee. The Lord, Laban also uses the name Jehovah. It is used by all the speakers in Genesis except the Netcash. Chapter 3, Abimelech, when speaking to Abram, not to Isaac, the sons of Heth, Pharaoh, Joseph's brethren, and Joseph himself. Absent, figure metonymy of adjunct, appendix 6, equals Hebrew, hidden, put for absent. 50. If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or if thou shalt take their other wives beside my daughters, no man is with us. See, God is witness betwixt me and thee. Man, Hebrew-ish, appendix 14:2. 51. And Laban said to Jacob, Behold this heap, and behold this pillar, which I have cast betwixt me and thee. Behold, figure asterismos, see appendix 6. Pillar distinct from the heap, compare verses 45 and 46. 52. This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and that thou shalt not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm. 53. The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge betwixt us, and Jacob sware by the fear of his father Isaac. 54. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread, and they tarried all night in the mount. Offered sacrifice, killed beasts, figure metonymy of adjunct, see appendix 6, compare appendix 43:1, 4. And 55. And early in the morning Laban woke up, and kissed his sons and his daughters, and blessed them, and Laban departed, and returned unto his place. 55. Sons, synecdoche of the part, see appendix 6, put for grandsons as well. Daughters, also for granddaughters.